guys, it's Nikki, and I'm wearing eyelashes for the first time. I can't tell if they look good or not. I'm like trying to see and I'm like... Anyways, today I'm going to be talking about things I have learned since having body mods. I have stretched ears, as you can see. They are size 0. So I started stretching my ears in March of 2017 and I reached size 0 in September 2017. Yeah. So I've been there for a while. I love them and I just think they're pretty cool. And I've liked the look of them forever. So I started stretching my senior year of high school. And I wasn't a person, like, I wanted my mom to be, I don't think my dad cared, I didn't ask him about it, but my mom, I asked her if I could because I just didn't want to do it and then have her mad at me. So I talked to her for a while and then she finally was like, okay, if that's what you want to do. Told her the size I wanted to go to and she didn't like it at first. She was kind of like, I don't want you going too big. But this is the size I've always wanted to be. It's a 0. It's still a size where my ears are pretty flexible and stuff, so there's still a size where I can go back down if I ever want to, which I won't. But you never know. Maybe in the future I might want to, and I still have that option that I don't want to get them surgically reduced or anything. And I sleep with them out sometimes just so they can shrink back up and stay nice and tight.
That's what she said!
Anyways, so these are things I've learned from having stretched ears. And if you guys want to see some of them, just let me know. So number 1, I've noticed that people judge way too quickly with people in any sense. But also, just by looking at people, they get judged. And I don't even have that many like modifications. I have 4 holes, but 1 is stretched to a size 0. I have a nose hoop, and I have this big old tattoo on my forearm. I didn't have my tattoo when I was working, and I wasn't supposed to wear my plugs, but I did anyways because, I don't know, because I guess I was just a rebel. And I cool. But I would wear them when I knew that supervisors and stuff weren't coming, which sounds really bad. But anyways, I would wear them, and when I go to help some people, sometimes I would notice people staring at my ears, which I didn't really care. And they'd say like, oh, like, yeah, you're so nice, you're so sweet. I'm like, yeah. Just because I have these things doesn't mean I'm a bitch. And I have to say, like, the nicest people I've met usually do have body modifications. I found that usually you are happier and more confident when you have things like you love. Like, when I got my tattoo, I felt more confident than I did without it. It made me feel like a different person. So I feel like a lot of the people I've met that have these types of things, like, they are, you know, themselves. And, yeah, it might not make sense, but it makes sense to me. Where I worked, sometimes there are things like they want you to look professional, so they don't want you to have stretched ears and stuff like that. But I would wear different kinds of plugs that you couldn't even tell they were plugs. Some of them were really big flowers, and you couldn't tell. A majority of the people I worked with that I became really good friends with, they didn't even know for the longest time that I had stretched ears. So I would just, like, I would notice people staring at them, especially older people. I see them looking a lot more, and then I would continue to work with them, and then they would end up saying, oh my god, you're so sweet, and then they'd come in later and start asking for me to help them. Growing up, I was constantly told, and I still even at work, I have quite a resting bitch face. And I know that, and I'm aware of that. Yeah, because sometimes smiling gets exhausted, so I just sit there like, or if I'm doing something work, or if I'm irritated, you know, sometimes I just have a blank face. And I remember in high school, people would say like, you're so, like, you look so scary, but when we meet you, you're nice. And that's kind of funny because I didn't even, like, I just wore a lot of dark colors and like, I don't know. A lot of people thought I was scary, which I can be. You piss me off. Yeah. Besides that, I'm very nice. People get a kick out of me. I don't know why, but they do. 2. People say you can't go back to your normal size, and that once you do something, it's permanent. So I get this all the time. I have people constantly saying to me,
what do you want to do if you want to go downsize? You can't. Then what are you going to do?
And what I have to say, I really don't want to. But like,
what if you're older and you have kids and you don't want them?
If I ever do, I am at a size where I can go back down. It will just take time to shrink up, but this is something I wanted my whole life. I've wanted these my whole life. I want my nose pierced my whole life. I want a tattoo my whole life. This isn't something I one day was just like, that's what I want to do. This is something like I've wanted for years, and it took years to get a lot of these things. Quick side note. I actually used to wear fake plugs for years. I wore them for like 4 years straight. So yeah, that too. My tattoo, like, a lot of people, I haven't gotten anyone saying, well, what are you gonna do? Like, that's a huge tattoo. What if you don't like it in a few years? Like, I haven't gotten any of that. I know other people that have gotten stuff like that, but I honestly, I don't care. This is something that I've wanted for a long time. It's sentimental to me, and I went through a lot to get it. Like, not for nothing, but a big, like, for a first tattoo, I got a full forearm piece. That hurt. Like, that hurt. And I went on 3 separate occasions for 3 sessions, 1 for touch-ups, but like, that hurt, and it was worth it. Like, and yeah, it was worth it. And I don't ever want to get rid of these things. And if I do, let's say in the future, I have a right to change my mind if I want to. Like, if I don't want them in like 10 years or so, then I can always go back, you know? And even if people that have really big stretch ones, if they don't want them eventually, that's their decision, and then if they please, then maybe they would get the surgery. It's like, a part of me has to be like, why is it any of your business though? Like, it's not your body, it's my body. But I bite my tongue because I don't want to deal with them. If I wear heavy ones, they get a little loose, and so sometimes when they're a little bit more stretched, I take them out, tighten them up. If I know I'm gonna wear like my stone plugs, which are double flare, but there's not really a flare on them. They're just kind of more like, just like standard plugs. Sometimes I will take them out if I don't want to wear them or something, and they'll tighten up, and then easier to keep them in because sometimes they'll fall out if I'm sleeping, if I forget to take them out or whatnot. Number 3, a lot of people think that plugs, tunnels, piercings, all this stuff, they aren't very feminine. I don't get why they're not. I mean, I have tons of plugs that I love, and they're very feminine and girly. I have dangle ones, I have ones that are big flowers that I wear all the time. You know, I have little white flower ones with dangly gems off of them, and I think they're so cute and so feminine. And even with my tunnels or the eyelets, I wear big hoops with them sometimes. If I think they're gonna look better with my clothes, I do. And I think they look pretty feminine, and I think they're very cute. And even with any piercing, I hate when people are just like, it's not feminine enough. It makes you look very masculine. Why does it matter? That's like the whole point. I'm like, I don't get why people think it matters. If I like it, that's the only thing that should matter. And I think they're pretty cute. I know a lot of people say they don't think they're attractive, and that's their right, you know? I don't tell you what you can like, what you can't like. I have had a person ask me,
well, how are you gonna get married if you have one? How are you gonna get a boyfriend? Sure.
Well, I'm hoping that if a guy really loves me, that he'll be okay with it. Then it's just like people said, you're gonna get a job if you have stretch ears. And I'm like, if I can't, I want to get a job doing what I love. And if they don't accept me for being me, then it's not worth it. And in certain cases, I can always cover them up, and people won't even notice. So why does it matter? And a lot more places are getting very more inclusive with like being okay with it. And a lot more stores have policies with piercings, where they're allowing you to have piercing. I haven't had problems with mine. When I go into my interview for when I worked at a pet store, I wore earrings, my flower ones, that made it look like I didn't even have stretched ears, and then they didn't know. By hoop, nobody noticed, but it would like hide up right against it, some people didn't even notice. So like, it wasn't something that they looked out for. Number 4, I do cover up sometimes, and a lot of people say, well, why do you have them if you cover them up? The one thing, I cover them up whenever I'm around my grandpa, and the reason is, I love my grandpa dearly. He's like my best friend. We get each other. He had a rough time when I first got my nose pierced. These grabby things to get clothes out of his closet. And I remember one time he like took it and he was like, take that out. And he would make comments like, you look like a bull. But like, he would always just mess with me and stuff. Like, I know him. I cover him up just to respect him. Because that's like, and also, you have to understand, different generations. I feel like my generation is more okay with different mods and stuff, but his aren't. And I mean, I didn't even tell him I was getting a tattoo until all of a sudden we were at dinner once and he goes, let me see. And this was before I had color put in, and he looked at it and he goes, wow, that's beautiful and stuff, and I was like shocked. But yeah, so sometimes I just do that because it's easier, and because, you know, I don't want to get into it. And if I go places where I might see like older relatives, like cover them up, because I don't like talking about it, and sometimes I just get tired of having to justify different things. And just like, I don't know, Thanksgiving, you don't talk about politics because you don't want to get into it. That's the same. Sometimes I just cover things up because I don't want to get into it. Simple. I lost track of what number I'm at, but number 5 or 6, one of them. So I've noticed people, if you have dyed hair, if you have piercings or tattoos, a lot of people feel like they have the right to go up and touch you. I don't want to be touched. If I don't know you and you come up to me and touch me, I'm gonna get mad. And a lot of people, I feel like, don't understand that. Oh, what is this? Like I said, you never know what somebody's going through. You never know, like, how they're gonna react. You shouldn't just go up and touch people. Like, I wouldn't just go up to you and be like, oh my god. Yes. Oh my god, look at you. Like, it's so stupid. People would just come up to me and touch me. And be like, touch my hair and stuff. Like, number one, I don't want you messing with my hair. I don't know where your hands have been. I don't know you. And I feel like you should not go up to people and touch them. That's, like, I feel like that's common sense. You don't just go to people touching people. But, people have done it with my ears. They'll come up to me and just, like, touch my ear. And I'm like, can you, like, how would you feel if somebody just went up to you and, like, started touching your nose? You don't like that, so don't touch my ears. I've had people that they start to see my tattoo and they'll grab my arm and like lift up my sleeve to look at it. And it's just been people so far that I've known and I've been like, okay. Like, I don't really do anything about it. But like, if kids ask questions, like, I had different colored hair and I would babysit kids and they'd ask questions and I talked to them. Like, it's not that big of a deal. I was fine with it. I had like purple hair and the kids loved it. They thought it was cool. But yeah, I'm fine with like kids asking questions. I'll talk to them. And a lot of the time, I found that kids are more accepting of different things. Like, a lot of the kids that I see or whatever, they think it's kind of cool. Like, in public, that like somebody, I would like hear kids sometimes be like, that's so cool, I want pink hair too. And I feel like they just accepted it more. Shout out to Walmart, because they have adorable pit bull socks for $1. And if any of you love pit bulls as much as I do, I freaking love them. I have a pitty mix right here. I love you. You love me? Then you're gonna want to get some. They're only $1. I did it and I love them. I haven't worn them yet. But I've been too busy talking about them. I love them. Shout out to pit bulls for being the best for your dogs. Love them. High five. Thanks. So anyways, thank you for wasting your time with me today. I'm Nikki. Feel free to watch any more videos, yeah? Comment below. I'll do whatever. Yeah. You want your own video? I can make one for you. Yeah. So anyways, thank you for wasting your time with me today. I'm Nikki. See you later. Bye. Okay. Whatever.